Welcome to NativeScript Community Chat for August, huh? Wow, let's go back in time. How about for October 21st? Time has been flying by. Some exciting updates this week. There's been a lot of movement here the past 2 weeks, and we're excited to share a number of updates here. Core updates 7.0.11, 7.0.12. One big thing went in 7.0.11 iOS 10. Support was reinstated from UI layout guide. If you'd ever seen a crash related to a layout guide when running a NativeScript app on iOS 10, that is fixed with the latest versions of Core. Really exciting to get that in. Also, a nice bottom navigation arrow on back press for Android was fixed as well. And those updates, just to show the release log here. We also added TypeScript 4 support on the core repo, and we are now publishing with TypeScript 4. It doesn't affect the pre-build, but it does give us some nice TypeScript 4 features in developing out core. So definitely use the latest of core there for sure. Again, always, as we've been stating in these calls often, if you're using 7.0 with a tilde, you'll always get these after you clean your project in general. So always recommended to use tilde on core. Mobile runtime updates, some really, really nice and anticipated updates for the V8 iOS runtime. 7.04 was just released this morning. This had several V8 runtime issue fixes, and I'll just look at the commit log here on master. In particular, some really specific things related to the V8 engine, some performance improvements, some handling with prototype objects with native class extensions, unmanaged types, a lot of very technical things there, and also a slight improvement for the JS loading in the V8 runtime. That is in 7.04. What we also did to make it easier to work with the iOS runtime is there is also now a JSC tag on NPM for NativeScript iOS. So for anyone out there that was using TNS-iOS to use the original JSC runtime, we now have that available under the scope NativeScript iOS runtime with JSC. So you can actually use the JSC tag in your package dev dependencies if you do want to use that JavaScript core runtime for any reason. Generally, we would recommend it if for any reason you're using NativeScript iOS 7.04 and you encounter anything that's just odd, bizarre, anything iOS related that just you can't explain, no rhyme or reason to it. Perhaps you encountered something with the V8 runtime. That definitely feel free to report that on the main repo if you encounter things like that. But if you're blocked in those cases, you can try switching NativeScript iOS to the JSC NPM tag, and that'll switch to the JavaScript core-based runtime. So yeah, just note that NativeScript iOS really can be used for all cases now in dev dependencies, whether you're using 7.04 latest to V8 or you're using the JSC NPM tag. Also, NativeScript Android 7.01 was released with more V8 runtime issues resolved there too. So this is some improvements, I believe, relating to Gradle. I haven't looked specifically on this change set, but this does fix an issue that was happening with the latest runtime there. If you'd encountered anything as reported in here, that latest 7.01 may help you out on the Android runtime. So 7.04, 7.04 of iOS, 7.01 of Android. Also, we released this morning 7.0.11 of the CLI. This fixes a long complaint about for the past couple weeks NS plugin build, which a lot of plugin authors were used to using as part of their plugin build path. It was harmless in the sense that it did not necessarily break a build, but it did output a annoying red issue that looked bad. The latest CLI does fix that. So NS plugin build, if that was causing you pain or worry before with any plugins that you were building, that's now resolved in the latest CLI. Also fixed asset generation alpha issue, thanks to Ken. was on the call. Thank you for that. Again, that was a great fix to get in there. Funny enough, I didn't even know that CLI option existed myself. So always learning things new with this framework. There's so much it has to offer. So it's always continually surprising. Svelte support, a tongue twister there, was added in the latest CLI too. So you can now do ns-create-svelte, and this will generate now a Svelte app. You could do that before through npx digit in the past. Remembering that command was impossible, I think. Congrats to you if you ever knew what that command was. But ns-create-svelte if you want to play with that front-end framework flavor with NativeScript. So really exciting to finally bring that official support there. Lastly, NativeScript Detox is a brand new package that was just published. This is using the Detox EDE testing. This is not correct for that, but I do want to show the npm package README for that, which is here. This shows an example of it running, and the README has some setup steps if you want to try this. So this is a separate EDE testing harness setup that is similar to what some in the past may have been used to with Appium. This is actually something different than Appium, and a pretty exciting integration testing option as well. So definitely check out this Detox package if you've been curious in EDE testing NativeScript apps. It's really exciting to finally have this out there as well. And we may start looking more into using this as the primary EDE target. Appium's gotten a lot of attention over the past couple of years. We've done a bit with Appium as well over the years, but we may start shifting to Detox ourselves. So definitely give this a shot. And feel free to report anything on the main repo if you encounter anything odd there. Other things that aren't noted specifically in the slides here is UIListView. There was a nice patch fix that went out on that to fix an Android RadListView issue related to grouping and sorting. That was resolved. I'll just make note of it here because it was a really nice fix. In fact, the issue had been an issue for a long time, probably going back years, if ever, did it ever work correctly. It's this particular issue here. It is if you were using grouping and sorting on RadListView, the item swiping event that would get emitted was passing along the wrong index. So it would actually not be reflective of your actual list item order when you were using grouping and sorting. So item swiping event on RadListView actually does now emit the proper index now. So it's a really nice fix to get out there on that. Existed, I think, probably forever in that component. That's all the updates that we have at the moment. I'll open it up to questions.